everybody. We're back. Second episode of the week. You know what that means. That means we got picks.
Waivers, picks, da-na-na, da-na-na, football time.
Yeah. Tons of fun stuff, I think, on this podcast today.
Great pod incoming.
Yeah, 100%. I just tease something. I think you should kind of watch the video screen a little bit here and there. There might be some cool stuff, but I
Clayton's
think
been working hard for us, guys. I'm telling you, I've been trying to contribute. Clayton's got this high performance computer over at his place that he can just work some magic with, really. So big shout out to him.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely looking forward to today's episode and just let's just get right into the waivers because we had the Benson sweepstakes.
Biggest waivers in the history of this league.
Yeah, and so
biggest waiver week.
Yeah, I mean, right there, you look Trey Benson, Tanner at 145. You were in there at 131. Lucas at 112. So the three guys with the best records are in there spending the most money on him. You got Joey in there, Casey. Me and Casey were not as flush with cash as others. I pretty much knew that I didn't have a chance at him. Sam threw some money, and then Scott said he was going to throw 100, and he threw. I think he forgot.
He missed a couple numbers.
Yeah, missed a couple there. But with that, we have our total at $751. I think it's got to be the most on a single player.
Oh, biggest individual claim and biggest total claims on Benson. I mean, it's just not often that you see a guy who's very obviously going to be the first option out of a backfield on the waivers. And Benson was that. You gotta go get your guys sometime. And if you believe in them, Lars put 145. It made me feel a little bit better that I didn't even have 145. I'm pretty sure that was planned out, particularly. And just as a little side note, just putting it out there, I was getting Snapchats from Tanner Larson at 3 a.m. League Commissioner Powers, was he seeing other people's waiver ad values at 3 a.m, switching his value up? Just putting it out there. He's trading people, replacing Benson in his lineup, trading people to Sam, play me this week. Just saying. I can't prove anything. We know he's acted a little suspiciously in the past. Just putting it out there.
Well, conspiracy.
We'll have to see what happens when the Chiefs bye week comes around, because who knows who I'll be playing that week.
we will have to double check that. I kind of hope it's me, but we'll have to see how that goes. But just total money spent on the whole week was also huge. I mean, you had Sam throw 32 on Hunter. Casey was in on there. 22 on Woody Marks, the only guy to put money on Woody Marks. Kind of surprising there maybe, but I do kind of see Woody Marks starting to take over maybe that backfield in Houston. Big claim on the Vikings D after the huge week.
Well deserved after a huge week.
Yep. $13.
And then Casey gets Hawkinson back.
Yeah.
After dropping him.
Yep. And then with that, we actually have a second page of waivers this week.
So many waivers this week. People are active. I love to see it.
I added Golden. You got Trey. Goff was added. Texans D. Sterling Shepard. Browns D for me. Lions D. Chargers. Dicker. I mean, lots.
Some unsuccessful mixed in there, but yeah.
And then
lots of stuff at the bottom.
Yep.
I was happy to get Trey Tucker actually for that price. Had a huge week last week. I'll be interested. I mean, I don't think he's the first option by any means, but Gino seems to like him and have some chemistry, so could use a little help at the receiver spot. But we'll talk more about that in a bit.
Yeah. Cool. So with that, breaking news. We got 2 trades this week. This league,
active,
very active this year. It was very active last year. I like it. It makes it exciting. I think it's a good trend for this league to see the trades that we have been seeing. But getting into the first one, Ryan, what did you think about London for Emeka?
London for Emeka. I mean, I think it's a fair deal for both sides. You capitalize for Bo, you know, is in win now mode for sure, and Emeka definitely helps him do that with Drake and well, maybe not Drake himself, but with Penix looking so bad, and Mike Evans going out, and Chris Godwin still being kind of a question mark. Bo needed some help there at the receiver position and gets it. And then for Lucas, I mean, I see his side too. You know, he is positioned himself well where London can sit on his bench if he needs to, and hopefully either Penix gets it together or even see Kirk Cousins come back in. Lucas's team, if these players pan out, I mean, he's just got so much talent right now.
Yeah, Lucas is loaded. For where we saw Drake London at the draft versus Emeka at
Yeah.
the draft. I mean, this is a pure case of Emeka is his value shot up. Drake London's value has kind of gone down. If Drake London can get back up to that level, I mean, that's crazy for Lucas. And I mean, it's
He's looked the part though. Mecca has looked the
yeah,
part. He making
definitely,
one-handed grabs. Baker seems to trust him.
yeah.
Just looks like a good option.
And then our second trade of the week, getting into Tanner and Sam's trade, we had Pearsall and Pollard go for Broncos D and Tyreek Hill. And this is another trade. I like it for both sides. I think Tanner gets the upgrade with Tyreek Hill, and who knows where Tyreek Hill could be playing at the end of the
Yep.
season, middle of the season. And then with Sam, you get a
We
much
knew Sam
needed,
had to trade. Sam had to make a trade.
yeah,
Sam had to make this trade or another trade. He
yes.
had Dylan Sampson in the starting lineup up until the trade happened, and you just knew that that wasn't going to last.
Yeah, and I think Dylan Sampson had 5 snaps last week. So um, tough there. But yeah, big upgrade for Sam to get Pollard into the RB2 spot. And Pearsall. Pearsall's looked great. Pearsall's looked great.
Yes.
So, and Sam gets rid of a Dolphin, which I think is a great thing for anyone's team. So,
Yeah, especially having two of them on there
yeah,
with
that
his. I
was
mean,
that was
you
tough.
would think
I
that.
will say Achan is an exciting player. I like watching him, but anytime you can get rid of a Dolphin from your fantasy football team, I think it's a great move. So good move from
Especially someone that relies so much on Tua throwing the ball deep down the field.
yeah, and then like I said, who knows? Hopefully for Tanner, Tyreek gets traded so he's not a Dolphin. So, but with that, let's hop in week 4 matchups. We got
Well,
Bo and Cub, and we are. I think I've picked Bo every week at this point. I could be wrong. I might have not picked him in one of them, but I know I've picked him at least twice. He's let me down every time
every
so
time
far.
we picked him at least.
But
We're still both sticking with him though.
we just got faith. We just got some faith. I mean, he's lost 3 in a row. Can't. I mean, what are the odds he loses 4 in a row?
Eventually he's gonna break through. And I think the matchups that he's got going this week point towards this being a good week for it to happen.
Yeah.
You got J.K. Dobbins against Cincinnati. They got blasted by the Vikings last week. A.J. Brown playing, who is
Tampa.
that? Tampa. They should have to score some points. Emeka back against Philly. They should have to, score to keep up. And then George Pickens should be the wide receiver one in the Dallas offense now. And we've seen him produce pretty good numbers when he was wide receiver one in Pittsburgh, and even when CD went out last week.
Yeah, and I don't think Josh Allen will have to put up too much of a fight against the Saints. Um, we are.
Yeah, it's a game where you expect whatever Josh Allen has at halftime might be what he ends up with.
Yeah, and then I mean we're a little lucky. We got to see Walker already play. No touchdown for him, so that kind of hurts the Cubs team. It looks like Christian Gonzalez is going to play this week for New England, so might hurt Tet just a little bit. Who knows?
Yep.
Maybe the lower body is injury. I think it was a hamstring.
Yeah.
Maybe Ted explodes because Gonzalez, is still struggling. Who knows? But
I think Ted was kind of banged up as well. I forget what
yeah, I think
he's got
his
going, but
Ted is a calf, so that a little banged up there.
yeah.
And then Sutton against Cincinnati. You got to believe that the Broncos are going to be running the ball more than passing the ball against Cincinnati. So
If they're up big, then yeah. I mean, maybe since he can keep it competitive, but yeah, for now,
to me, I think this is
might not need much.
like, nothing against Cubs team. I just like the matchups better on Bo.
Yeah, the one tough one for Bo is Jahmyr Gibbs versus Cleveland. We've seen Derrick Henry Josh Jacobs, as Cobble knows, and who else they played in week one? I forget off the top of my head, but some good high quality running backs struggle against that Cleveland defense already. So we'll see what Jameer can do.
Yeah, I will say I think Jameer can get involved. A couple different ways, which helps him. I mean,
Right.
passing and running. He might have a slow day running, but that might. I mean, in the PPR league, that might mean still a good week for him. So,
Right.
but getting right along to it, and Casey and Scott. This is a game we are different on. So I'm going to talk about Scott's team and why I like Scott's team. Caleb Williams, huge week last week. I think he's quarterback 3 right now in the rankings, which is kind of what, the Ben Johnson effect um, was expected to be out there.
Right.
You got Kyron Williams, who was scoring. I know Corum was starting to see the backfield a little bit, but Kyron got in the end zone last week. Nico Collins had a good week last week. Keenan Allen's still cooking. I do like Zach Ertz. I know though that Jaden Daniels is out, so
Jaden is out.
yeah,
Yeah, we got a little
that definitely downgrades Ertz a little bit. And then Smith had a good week last week, so I mean, I just like what I see out of Scott's team right now.
Yeah, and Tampa's at least a team where, Tampa is at least a team where they would, you think it'd be a good game, so they might have to throw it more. This was a tough one too. Casey hurt me last week in my picks, but I'm going back to the well. Casey's matchups are a little tough this week, but I just have some belief in these players. Baker, I will always have faith in Baker. I love that man. Derrick Henry, I do think he might struggle a little bit against the KC run defense. Shout out. But, he's always a threat to fall into the end zone. Big back like that. Baker and Bucky with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin just barely coming back. He could get some extra targets out of the backfield. Jamar, I think he's that talent. I mean, he's the first pick for a reason. You have to think that after last week, he's probably going to be pissed off during practice. One, to get the ball in his hands somehow, and they're going to find some easy ways to get it to him. And then Quentin Johnston, against the New York defense, they might be able to get one big play, and that's a 15, point week already based off of one time that he gets behind the safeties. So I think this one will be a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this could be the closest game of the week. Definitely has a chance to be.
Agreed.
All right, moving right along, we got Lucas versus Joey. We're both on Lucas.
David versus Goliath here, kind of.
Yeah.
Joey did get a win last week, though.
Yeah.
For being top 5 in points.
Yeah. So, I mean, when we both look at Lucas's team, I mean, we talked about it over and over again, and it's
top
just
bottom.
The depth. He's not even starting Drake London this week, and it's not even like you look at the lineup and you're like,
he's just been bouncing. I've kind of watched. He's been bouncing between Brees and Drake London. It's like he's got some tough flex decision to make. It play either of them, they'll get you 10, 15 points, and he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you got Brees versus Miami, so I like that matchup there. And I think it's just right now Lucas's team is so hot, so good. It's tough to pick against him. Looking at Joey's side, though, we do have David Montgomery coming off a big week, but now he has to play that Cleveland Brown defense.
Cleveland again.
Montgomery is the guy in that offense that relies more on the running.
Yeah, he's definitely more in the Henry Jacobs archetype that got slowed down by him.
Mm-hmm. And then
we saw JSN last night, so again, a little bit of a preface to this week. It didn't go, I mean, not a bad week, 8 points. You can't complain too much about it, but, for a guy that's been getting 15, 20, pretty high up there in the teens points most weeks, little disappointing.
Yeah, and then you got DK going against that Minnesota defense that last week looked so good.
Right. With Rodgers in the morning in a weird Ireland game, so those seem to usually be a little bit funky for offenses.
Yeah, and then I'll just, when you look at Lucas's matchups, I really don't see a bad one. I mean, do you?
Malik Neighbors versus the Chargers. Chargers defense has been good. You got Derwin James.
That's true.
Playing really well in the secondary, and Jackson Dart starting. So that'll be interesting to see how Dart uses Neighbors. If he's able to get him the ball pretty consistent. Sometimes you see it go either way. Sometimes the rookies really hyper target those guys that they know are studs, or they might, throw to guys they're more comfortable with that they've played with more on the practice, or not practice squad, but scout team.
Yeah. But moving to your matchup,
Let's go.
let me talk
My
about Sam's
darling
team.
Marvin.
Let me talk about Sam's team real quick before we get into yours, because he did make the trade, and his lineup now looks much better than what it did. I will
It's a
say
startable lineup.
Dak still in the starting lineup is the question mark for me. He's the like I love the trade. I love that he was able to, make the move there, upgrade the RB2. I don't think his flex takes that big of a hit. Like I said, I like Pearsall. Um, Steelers D versus Minnesota. I'm curious to see how that one works too. If the Patriots, their offense moved the ball last week, but they had a lot of turnovers. But then you do have Carson Wentz against Minnesota, or starting for Minnesota. So
Yep.
that's an interesting play for me. I think Hunter Henry will have another good week. He seems to be the only pass catching guy, maybe the only guy in the New England offense that's not named Drake May that you should put in a starting fantasy football lineup.
I don't think
Um,
he's fumbled yet this year, at least.
True. But Dak and the Steelers D are the interesting ones for me. Everything else I like. Um, Puka continues to perform. So I do like Puka. But I will let you talk about your team after I say one more thing. I thought Harrison was going to break out this week. You saw him last week with the drops and the touchdown drop, and then he
Yep.
started the first half
A
absolutely
tough
the
start.
worst way you can start.
Two picks that were both his, directly his fault.
Yeah, the one bouncing right off his hands, the other one giving up on the route. He still comes out with 15, had a nice touchdown grab. I think Marvin Harrison can be a startable. I said startable. I didn't say wide receiver one. Startable wide receiver in our fantasy league. But
He's got
watching
two
him every
touchdowns on
week
the year.
is like being
He
on a roller coaster.
I went into last night kind of in the same boat. I had a lot of faith that they were going to get him the ball early, and they did. He got 10 targets in the end. After the bobbled pick, I was legitimately worried they were going to bench him and say, you know what, you're done for today. We'll try again next week. Right now, you're just hurting us too much. But my darling Marvin came back through, got in the end zone, big play. I mean, and looked great doing it. It wasn't just some easy touchdown catch. He got up and grabbed that ball over Witherspoon, who's a really good corner. And then the rest of my squad here, we got the staples: Travis, Patrick versus the Ravens. I mean, that's a tale's old as time. They'll be in the end zone a couple times, scoring 30 points probably. Jonathan Taylor versus the Rams. That, I believe, could be a bit of a tougher matchup. The Rams looked pretty good in stifling Saquon last week, and they've got some good defenders up front. James Cook, same boat as Josh Allen. I think that if he's got if they're up 20 to nothing, 20, whatever it is at halftime, and he's got one touchdown and maybe 50, 60 yards, might start seeing a lot more Ray Davis and Trey Johnson,
Yeah.
or like his name is,
TJ
in the
Johnson?
backfield. What's that?
TJ Johnson?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something with a T.
Whoever Johnson is. See him back there too much. So we'll see about that. And then we'll see if I decide to play a defense. Might decide 11 a.m. on Sunday. There, still some good options sitting out there for me, but I think it'll even without them, I might be able to compete here. So
And
I
you are 6-0. So, if you have
would like to
time,
get to 8-0.
you have a little wiggle room, but I will say you are undefeated. It'd be tough to lose the undefeated thing by not starting a defense that could have brought you
It's fair.
over the hump.
It's fair, especially if
Obviously,
I like beat Sam and then was sixth in points or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Adding that
Um,
in.
Obviously, you're picking yourself because it's yourself picking yourself. I will say the reason I picked you is the running backs right now are just absolutely cooking, and you had that good week out of Marv. Um, I think if your wide receivers can be manageable, your running backs right now, I mean, basically 1 and 2. They are one
They
and
are
two.
1-2,
Yeah, they are 1 and 2 in the league. So
averaging 22 and 20, almost 25 apiece.
yeah, exactly. But with that, we will get
Game of
into
the week.
my matchup, which I do think just me and Tanner have known each other since we were a week old. We did put it last, which means it's our game of the week.
Yeah.
I'll talk about my team real quick, and then we can get into Tanner's team. Um, no CD Lamb this week. It's tough. I still pick myself. I definitely thought about picking Tanner. I definitely thought about it. And I think, I mean, maybe people were curious. Is this the first week one of the hosts doesn't pick themselves? And I was very close. Very, very
Close.
close.
The heated
Um,
debate.
I'm lucky that I got to see Benson play last night. Um, so that helped. But I'll keep talking about my team real quick. So we got Herbert against the Giants. I like that matchup. Hampton should be the guy right now for the Chargers. Like that matchup. Judkins has been looking good. Amon-Ra against Cleveland, not great, but it's Amon-Ra. Jacoby versus Chicago, I think that's a good matchup for me. I think Tyler Warren's pretty good. Chase Brown, he'll probably score
I'm a little
5 points.
surprised that Chase Brown is in your lineup, to be honest.
Dude,
Still.
but when you look at the rest of the line, it's like, do I start Matthew Golden? Maybe was a guy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you kind of have to. I see what you're doing. It's just, yeah, I would after all the hate that's been thrown his way, I was kind of surprised to see that he still made the cut.
Henderson was in there for a little bit, and then I saw Mike Vrabel today say, "Oh, Stevens doesn't get the same amount of snaps he usually gets. We're not punishing him at all." And
Which is crazy. Which
yeah,
is absolutely crazy.
I,
All these other first round running backs, you're at least or not first round, but early pick running backs. Judkins, Genty, Hampton, probably missing one. They are all turning into the main guy, whether it be by, because of skill or because of injury. They're all looking good and have become the main guy. And for some reason, Vrabel doesn't want to put Travion out there.
yeah, my gripes with the New England Patriots front office is just why take a guy in the second round and not play him very much. But I will say I do love the Packers defense against the Dallas Cowboys this week. I think Micah has a
Especially without
huge
CD.
game. So I do like that. But I'll let you start with Tanner's team.
Well, we got to start off with the waiver wire pickup of the Ben. What is that noise?
Oh, wait, look at that.
I think Trey Benson got eaten by sharks.
That's probably why he was not in there in the last drive when the other running back scored.
There must be blood in the water.
Must be.
But yeah, well, I picked Clayton too, even at 1-5 versus 5-1. After seeing that, I kind of, I'll say I kind of expected Trey Benson to have a bigger role and more carries in that offense. Maybe he got a game scripted out. But with some of the matchups again for Tanner here, a little tough. I mean, Lamar versus the Chiefs, he's always kind of struggled against them stat wise. I mean, the last time they played last year, he actually had a very good game. But before that, he's thrown some picks, and the Chiefs defense hasn't really been their issue this year. Tampa is always great against running backs with Vita Vea plugging up the middle, and Levante David running around making tackles. And then, Rome has looked awesome with Caleb especially taking off. He looks like he's probably the first option in the Chicago wide receiving core right now. So I expect him to get some targets against a leaky Las Vegas secondary. Tyreek is liable to go for a 70, 80-yard touchdown at any point if Tua can get the ball to him.
Could be playing against Sauce, though.
He'll be playing against Sauce to see who he decides to lock down out of Tyreek and Waddle. Probably Tyreek. And then Javonte Williams versus Green Bay. That Green Bay defense has been stifling. So I think the combination of a low output from Benson and some tough matchups gives you a good chance this week to pick up a first head-to-head win.
I need all the help I can get. So if I don't make it through this week, you might see me not pick myself next week, which would be tragic considering it'd be week 5.
Well, it depends who you're playing. Well, I don't know. You got Bo next week?
I do get Bo next week, I think. So who knows?
So it might last one more week.
Who knows? But
we'll see.
I mean, with that, we'll just give you a quick recap of all the picks. We both got Bo. Our only game we picked different is the Casey Scott game. So go Scott. Lucas, Ryan.
Casey failed me last week.
So quick recap there. But with that, you got Chiefs Ravens should Should be a good game. Both 1-2. You got Patriots Panthers.
Tampa, Philly.
Both I think also 1-2. So
I think so. Yeah, Tampa, Philly, both 3-0.
Tampa Philly 3-0.
Packers, Dallas. That should
Packers
be
Dallas
at
might
least
get
fun to
back.
watch.
You do got the double Monday nighter, which I'm not a big fan of. And then you got Ryder Cup this weekend on Sunday, finishing
Right.
match if the USA is still alive by the end of the day tomorrow. Tough day for them today, but should be another great weekend of football.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Great college games too tomorrow.
Yes, great college football games. I will actually be attending a college football game tomorrow. Go Lobos! They get to play our state rival, well, their rival, and our same in-state team, the Aggies. So I will be at that game tomorrow. Looking forward to it. But with that, good luck, everybody. Praying for no injuries for everyone. Injuries suck.
Yep.
I'm dealing with it now. But good luck, everyone.
Yep. Good luck, gentlemen. Let's have a great week.
Yeah.